great deal about photographs today, and we would like to give you, Mr. Sinatra, an opportunity to respond to a photograph that has received a great deal of notoriety, one in which you appear with Mr. CARLO Gambino and several of his associates, some of which were also principals in the Theater. I wonder if you could explain to us, again for the record, just general terms, as you recall the incident, why it happened, and how it possibly can happen.
I'd be happy to. I was asked by one of the members of the theater who he was. Doesn't come to me. I don't think it's that important. He told me that Mr. Gambino had arrived with his granddaughter, whose name, perchance, happened to be Sinatra. Her daddy is a doctor in New York, and we're not related at all. And he said they would like to take a picture, and I said, fine. They came in, and I took a picture of the little girl. And before I realized what happened, there were approximately 8 or 9 men standing around me, and several other snapshots were made. That is the whole incident that took place.
Did you have any acquaintance with Mr. Gambino prior to that? Had you ever met him?
No, I never.
Mr. Bunker, if I may intercede for a moment on a matter of pictures. We have put together a group of backstage pictures and other pictures of Mr. Sinatra so that there's some perspective of what happens backstage. Yes. There's...
This represents 1,000, maybe a minimal amount of photographs that I've taken of people who come backstage. This is a picture with Congressman Jerry Lewis in Palm Springs, and my wife, the Prime Minister of Israel, and Gregory Peck, a little boy who was the muscular dystrophy model for the year, 1975. A photograph of my wife and myself and Mr. Sadat, President of Egypt, and his wife. A photograph of myself with a wife and hostages' children just before they were released at the gala rehearsal in Washington, backstage. Oh, Mr. Sadat and some children at her hospital in Egypt. We are actually only think about backstage. Here's one with Mayor Beam, former Mayor Beam, and his wife, and my wife, back at the Westchester Theater in the backstage. Westchester Theater, Congressman Ed Meyer, I believe, of New York. These unsavory-looking characters, if you can see it, San Francisco Police Department inspectors. There are 4 of them. If you looked at this picture without my telling you, it would frighten you. I mean it.
You think they could be misinterpreted for something else? Mr. Sinatra, let me just say
we don't have to go through this. You know what we're talking about.
It's a personal aside, and I just say it because I feel strongly about it. It's a sad commentary, I guess, on our time, that those things really aren't newsworthy.
That's true.
I guess it's the Gambinos and the Fratiannos of the world that are newsworthy, and I think that's extremely unfortunate. Not in your particular case as a rule, but just in general. I think that's very important.
Not before nor after that.
Okay. Did you have any information about any of the people that were in that photograph with you? Did you know any of them by sight?
Well, Mr. Marsden, I think, was in the picture, whom I knew because he was one of the owners of the club, and I knew him. And I later found out that I was introduced to somebody named Jimmy, and I later found out it was this FINK the Weasel, so I didn't know him at the time.
Jimmy Fratianno.
Yeah.
Subsequently, did you have an opportunity after this picture received some degree of notoriety to learn what the background was of some of those people?
No.
That you were there?
No.
As of today, you do not know what some of the background...
I didn't even know their names, let alone their backgrounds. I didn't even know most of their names.
I mean, subsequent to that, in the last little while.
No. No, I haven't.
Still
Nobody's
today
asked me
don't know.
about it, and nobody's... I haven't discussed it with...
But needless to say, with
Excuse me, Mr. Funk, I'd like to add to that theory of yours by saying to you, I rescind my remark about taking sputum tests. Or a blood test or something.
Well, certainly, one takes the opportunity to review the background of all of the people in that picture, safe and excepting yourself, and it is quite a who's who of what's what, I guess, in the area of organized crime. Was it
Don't remember.
at all?
Not at all.
Or is it you just don't want to put it on the record?
No, it's just not a matter of putting anything on